Hello, I'm Lonnie Miller, the president of the Alabama Dog Hunters Association.
And I'm Brad Wilnecker, president of Southeastern Dog Hunters Association. We have come here today to teach others how to train their dogs with training collars.
As you know, there's several ways that this can be done. We're here today, we're going to show you a proven method that we use that works for us. At no time while using training collars should you abuse your dogs. This is pretty much a situation where we need to use them for the right purpose. And we also realize that training dogs in this manner is not for everybody. And we need to give you an opportunity if you want to learn. I can guarantee you this is gonna make a change in the way you hunt.
You're absolutely right, Lonnie. If you take the time to train your hounds, this will help better our relationship with landowners and solidify the future for our youth in dog hunting.
This is one way that we as dog hunters can display to our hounds that we are committed and that we truly care about the sport of dog hunting. This is a day one dog. Basically what we're doing today is we're going to make sure that we can teach this dog the leash is not going to hurt them, and basically we want to make sure that we can control them. This dog's about 10 months old. I've been messing with her in the inside of pen a little bit, and if you have a dog that's 3 or 4 or 5 months old and never been on a leash, it's a little more difficult to train, to leash train them. But all of our dogs need to be on a leash, and really a younger puppy, if it's 3, 4, 5 months old, never been on a leash, that's really what I wanted to bring today. I just didn't have one. And it is a true indication of how to react. They're going to be nervous, they're going to be pulling, they're going to think that this leash is killing them, and sooner or later they'll settle down. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes, and after that process is done, they know the leash doesn't hurt them. It does two things. It gives us an opportunity when we do turn them out to put them on a leash, and they're not nervous about it. And the second thing it's going to do is going to give us an opportunity to go to day two, which is the second segment, which basically is going to be a 40-foot lead. This dog right here is about a 16-month-old blue tick. This is a day two dog. I worked with her yesterday afternoon. As you see, I got the long leash. I'm gonna start back just like we did as if we were on day one with a short leash. You see, I'm trying to just pretty much let her know that I'm in control of her. As you see, the collar, we put a tracking collar on her today, and for day two, basically, we're gonna start using the tone. I'm gonna give her some rope. We're gonna see how she'll respond. First thing I do with a day two dog is give her that rope, and I want her to know to come to me when I blow the whistle. So I'm pulling this rope. If you saw, I slightly bumped her a couple times, kind of like getting a fish bite on a pole, just to get like you're getting the bite. I want her to know to come to me. That's without a unit. I'm not toning anything. I'm not doing anything other than letting her know that I want her to come. You see, I'm squatting down. I want to love on her. I want her to know that she's done a good thing. Some people give them treats, some people do whatever, but I want her to know that she did what I wanted her to do. And I'm gonna stand up and hopefully walk around, and maybe she'll walk off again. As you see, she's coming to me, and she knows that I want her close to me, and they get in the habit of doing that. That's when you get a partner to come over to hold her at the 40-foot mark or whatever, at the end of this leash. As you see here, she comes back to me. And some people think that we're ruining the dog. No, we're teaching the dog to come to me. So what I'm gonna do, because she's not really responding to me, I'm probably gonna wind up bumping her a little bit. I'm gonna put my unit on about 3 or 4 as far as the shot goes, and I'm gonna try to get her attention. I want her to come to me. Here she comes without a shock. Hadn't done anything with it. She just came on her own because I tugged the rope. And basically what you're gonna do is you're just gonna repeat this and repeat this and repeat this until you know that dog is responding. So we got a dog here. It's another dog. Basically, this dog is 13 months old. She's pretty much a puppy. She has been trained. She hasn't necessarily been on a leash, and you can tell she's a little bit nervous. We're gonna see how she's gonna be. We basically gonna call her a day 3 dog because she's actually been running. She runs deer right now, and she will stop on the road. You know, when we get or anytime we want her to stop, she will stop. Come here, Cricket. Come here. Once again, when they come to you, you need to let them know that you're not gonna hurt them. They do what they want, what you want them to do. So you're gonna have to basically just reassure them that you're gonna be good to them, and you basically are just teaching them a lesson. It's no different than giving them a dog treat. So she needs to know that we're not gonna hurt her. You know, whistle breaking a dog, I've heard people say that don't work in the mountains, don't work in, this area, that area, but I can tell you that I've got friends that hunt the mountains in North Alabama. And as long as we have GPS signal, it will work. And we lose signal down here, what people call the flatlands in Covington County, Geneva County. And if we don't get a satellite, sometimes we lose signal. I don't really know that it has anything to do with the terrain. But what I do know is when you stop this dog with a whistle or a tone, the whistle, all it's doing is bringing the dog to you. The tone is actually what's stopping the dog. And when you get this dog trained, the dog will backtrack where he just came from. And you should be able to pick the dog up. We basically got this dog, we've taken her off the leash, and we're working her between Hunter Wilson and I right here. We basically are working her back and forth between each other. Typically, I'm gonna tone the dog. Hunter's gonna be blowing the whistle. She don't know where the tone's coming from. She just knows the whistle is where I need to go. Once again, the tone is what stops the dog. The whistle just says, come to where I'm at. Good girl. She's actually starting to get a hang of it, but I would do this right here until I know that she's responding. This dog is responding well. So basically we're winding up the training as far as inside the fence. It's typically a day 3 dog, what I would say a day 3 dog. Basically we've done the leash, training in day 1, the short leash. We've done the 40-foot leash for a day 2 dog. And a day 3 dog basically started out with a 40-foot leash, and at the end of the day, when I say a day, we're talking 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. We are separated between foul poles inside of a field, so we're probably 100 yards apart, and we're working the dog between the two of us. We have one unit, and all I'm doing is toning the dog. I try not to tone the dog when he's blowing the whistle, or if I'm blowing the whistle, the dog can hear both, but I want him to hear the tone and then hear the whistle. The tone means to stop what I'm doing, whether it's coon hunting, running the deer, rabbit, squirrel, whatever you're doing. The main thing is that when he's in a piece of property where I want him to come to me, I'm going to stop him, or if I want him in my box, if I'm ready to go home, I'm not looking for dogs. I know where he's at on this GPS. I'm going to go get within 200-300 yards of him. I'm going to put him in my box. If you make a choice to whistle break your dogs, it's going to be a good decision for dog hunting. I think that it's really imperative for me to teach people to do this, because I think this is going to save our sport. We've had the Southeastern Dog Hunters Association here today. We wanted them to come up and be part of it. We basically crossed the state line down here down south, and we basically enjoy the partnership that we have. It's Monday morning, May 30th, about 10 after 6. We basically are doing the last segment of the whistle breaking process, which means that we're going to hopefully show you in a little while that how to stop the dogs once they are actually running a deer. We've turned out on the track, pretty much just trying to get a deer going this morning, and hopefully we'll get the pack out. I think we've probably got 10 or 12 dogs we're going to turn out. And if everything works out right, we'll catch a video of the deer and the dogs and pretty much show you, how it's supposed to work. Some of the dogs we worked with on Saturday, it's actually in the video, going to be turned out today. And hopefully we'll get something going in a little while. That's cool. Okay, guys, what we just saw was, we had turned out a few trail dogs on the track. They jumped the deer. We've been running that deer for about an hour, and it took us a little while to get the footage that we wanted. It crossed several roads, and finally we were able to get the actual footage of the deer crossing the road. When the deer crossed the road, I stopped every dog with this whistle, and basically proof there, it does work. And they came, to me, and I could have loaded every one of them up if I'd have wanted to. I was waiting on the other buddies to get here with their trucks. The dogs are hot. There wasn't no reason to put them in a box right now, let them cool down a little bit. Most of those dogs would load up by themselves. If you open the gate, you don't have to touch the dog. As far as the 2 or 3 of those dogs were used in the training that we did on Saturday. One of those dogs was a day 1 dog. There's the black and tan in the video. Pretty much, that's his second day out of the box. He's basically following suit what the other dogs are doing. And once you get a few dogs that are trained, you don't have to spend the time of actually, like we did Saturday. It's easier to train 1 or 2 dogs with a pack. What I will share this with you is that some people do it where they stop the dogs before they come to the road. Some people stop the dogs on the road. And some people wait till the dogs cross the road, get in the woods 150 yards or 100 yards or so. There's different attitudes about it. There's different opinions. The gist of the thing is we need to be able to stop the dogs. Ultimately, that's what the deal is. And if we're to control the dogs and not be punished for the encroachment on other people's property, this is what we need to do. We would like to thank Gunner Guy. He's the commissioner for the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, and Chuck Sykes, who is the director of the Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries Division, for allowing us to have a permit to do what we did this morning. We basically got a permit from them, and they agreed to let us do this because, as everybody knows, it's against the law to run deer in the summertime. And we wanted to make this video, and they were behind us 110%. To get this word out, because everyone understands that this is a true way to stop having the problems that we've been having with dogs getting on other people's property.